Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so a small recap. Okay, because this is the continuation of the previous class. In the sense, whatever we were going through, so it is related to that only. So we have not completed the concept as of now. So we were looking at the different options that are available for a warehouse manager or a person who is responsible to take care of a particular warehouse, and what kind of options are available with him, okay, because of the uncertainty in demand as well as the prices. Okay, we talked about this, like there is something called as a spot price in the sense the price that is going on for that particular year. So every year it changes. Okay, the students who are staying in a rented house, or the students like who have given their property for rent, so they will be knowing that okay, every year there will be a particular what do you call, increase in the certain percentage of the particular rent that you are taking, unless and otherwise you are having a particular agreement for certain number of years. Okay, or there is something called as lease. Okay, for certain period of time a particular amount is given. Okay, it will be, the amount will be a bit higher. Okay, and at the end of that particular lease the amount will be given back with some reductions. Okay, so this is what is leasing. And about spot price, it's like every year I will be renewing and I'll be paying the that particular present price. So that is called as the spot price. I'll be paying at the spot price unless and otherwise I'm having an agreement. So there is third one here in this case. Okay, first one I'll just go through it, then when I come to the third one I'll explain. So get all warehousing space from the spot price as needed. So the spot price is changing, so it could increase also or decrease also, we never know due to various reasons. So now if you see the retail space, because of lockdown and all, many people have shut down their business, be it a particular small retail shop where you are having kind of a restaurant kind of thing. Okay, or many places, some lodges. Okay, then hotels, restaurants. So these are the most what do you call, heavily hit industry. Okay, and in many places, I don't know in Belgaum, but the small theater owners, they are not the multiplexes, the theater owners, even for them it's a huge loss because movies cannot be run. So earlier in the like in the last lockdown everything was shut down, then they gave permission for 50% of seating, then it became 100%. Then they were like in the just before the second lockdown, uh, the government was thinking about 50%, and there was some backlash from the movie industry and all. But at the end, total shutdown was done. Okay, so these are some of the industries where these are important. Okay, but not the basic needs. Like it's not above your life or something. Okay, so this particular opportunity was used by the OTT platforms. Okay, so where many OTT platforms came and many people became their subscribers. Okay, so their growth or the number of subscriptions, okay, compared to the last previous years, this year and the previous year, it went to what you call a new time high. The percentage of increase was very high, so it could have doubled or tripled as well. Okay, why? Because of the present conditions. So this may increase or decrease the price as well. Okay, so the availability of the space is there now. Okay, there are many people who have vacated. Okay, the people who own that particular place are ready to give it to some other person for lease or rent. Okay, because as the demand is less, the price will also go down. Okay, so it's not that on yearly basis, yes, it will go up in 99% of the conditions, but rarely in 1% it so happens that the price may go down also. So we need to take care of that uncertainty also, whether it is going up or down. So here, get all warehousing space from the spot market as needed. We had seen only the calculations with an example for the first alternative only. So second alternative, sign a 3-year lease for a fixed amount of warehouse space and get additional requirements from the spot market. Like for example, I'm taking a particular amount of space, okay, and I'm leasing it for 3 years. So whatever my demand or whatever my supply is, so I'm exactly paying the amount that I have agreed for on the lease. Okay. Then if I need anything extra, any particular space extra, what I'm going to do is I am paying the spot price only for that additional what you call the additional space that I am in requirement of. That is the second one. Third one, this is a flexible lease. This is also a lease, but a flexible one. Okay, we'll see when we are going towards the calculations. So, what kind of flexibility these people are particularly giving to us? Okay, like it's a flexible lease with a minimum charge that allows variable usage of warehouse space. So earlier in the second alternative, what it was, a fixed space was there for a particular number of years, and additionally, if it was required, I need to pay the spot price. But in flexible lease, what is happening is the minimum charge, okay, is given, and here even the variation, okay, in the warehouse space, it is variable now. So I'll say, okay, first I will be having certain amount, okay, of space at a particular amount of lease for 3 years. Okay, then what I'll do, just not for that space, I'll take, like, if required, I'll increase my space, okay, but at the same price, whatever the price, present spot price is going on, at that price only it will increase to a certain amount, not everything, to a certain amount. If further it is increasing, okay, certain space, whatever extra you had spoken for, if it is within that, not an issue. So whatever the present spot price is there for the next year also, or the next consecutive year also, I am paying only that much, the present spot price, and not the next year's price. Okay, so but if it is increasing further than that, the requirement of space, if it is increasing further more than that, what is happening here? I will be paying at that spot price on that particular year. What is the spot price I need to pay for that? Okay, that is the additional one. Then whatever is been like taken into consideration. Why this happens? We have seen, okay, the what you call decision tree, basically how it was unfolding. So you'll see, you'll have a look at that as well. So these are the three options. One, I'm not worried about the uncertainty. I'll say, okay, whatever this year is there, I'll take care of that. Next year, whatever happens, I'll pay accordingly. So I don't want to make any calculations or think about it. Okay. Second one, 3 years is fixed for a particular amount, and a particular space is fixed. If I want additional at spot price, I will get it. Second one, third one, that is the flexible lease, minimum charge for a particular amount of space, plus at the same price some additional space as well. Okay, so if I go beyond that, if I require a space beyond that, at that time the spot price of that particular year will be charged. Okay, so these are the three options. So then we saw about the different things, like what is the probability of happening, okay, and the profits that you'll be getting by having a transaction of one unit. Okay, so those all things are given here. Just a small recap. So 1,000 units requires 1,000 square feet. That means per product requires per square feet, and the current demand for logistics is 1 lakh units. Okay, 1 lakh units per year. So what I require is 1 lakh square feet. Okay, so the manager decides to use a multiplicative binomial representation. Again, remember, we are using the binomial multiplicative representation. Okay, so here what we are saying, demand may go up or down by 20%, and the probability of that happening is 0.5. So maximum probability is 1. So if you are giving 0.5 to one of the happenings or not happening, so the other one will be 1 minus 0.5. So again it is 0.5 only. So it is 0.5 probability for both going up 20% and coming down 20%. Okay, that is what is given. Then the probability of two outcomes are unchanged for one particular year. Okay, then okay, the general manager can sign a 3-year lease price at a price of $1 per square feet per year. Okay, this is the price that we are taking, that is $1 per square feet per year. So every year I need to pay using $1 only per square feet. So next spot price can become 1.25, but I'm not going to pay because the lease, I have entered into a lease with that person stating that it will be $1 per square feet only. Okay, for the next 3 years. So after 3 years, again, when the lease is null and void or the tenure of that particular lease is complete, at that time again the spot price is considered for if you want to continue there only. Okay, then the warehouse space is currently available on spot market at $1.20. Okay, presently it is $1.20, but I am making a deal for 3 years stating that I need it for a $1 per square foot. Okay, then the warehouse space, okay, that sorry, the spot prices for warehouse space may go up by 10% or go down by 10%. Again, 0.5 probability for both. So if you see, if we are able to like transport, as it is a logistic company, if we are able to transport one unit, so I am getting a profit of $1, sorry, $1.22. That is $1.22. Okay, and the discount rate, the rate of discount. So we were talking about the cash flow and the present value of future cash flows. So there a particular discount rate K was supposed to be put. So in this case, we are assuming it as 0.1, and the formula is discount rate is equal to 1 upon 1 plus K. So in this case, it will be 1 upon 1.1, that is 1 plus 0.1 will be 1.1. So it is 1 divided by 1.1 is the discount rate, and that is for 3 years. It is not changing, we are not changing it for 3 years, it is 0.1 itself. Okay, this was the particular decision tree which we got. So first, so two parameters, that is a demand D and the price is P. So present price 1.2 and the demand is 100. Okay, so if we enter into a lease, this becomes 1. Okay, for present consideration, that is the first choice, that is we are not entering into any lease or any flexible contract. We are going through the spot price only. The spot price is 1.2 dollars per square feet, and my present demand is 100. This is in thousands. Okay, this is 1 lakh. So we had seen that 1 lakh was their present demand. So whatever the values are there here for demand, it is in thousands. Okay, and this price is in dollars only. So $1.2 only. So here, if you see 100, it is 100 into 1000. So it is 1 lakh. Here it is 1,20,000. So similarly, if you see two parameters, one it is going up, one it is going down. So four different alternatives you will be having with D is equal to 20% up, that becomes 120. Price is also 20% up, 1.32 we are getting from 1.2. Not 20%, price is going by 10% up. Okay, so that is 1.32. So similarly, second one, I'm keeping the demand same, that is increased demand, but I am reducing my price. I told you, it is increasing or decreasing by 10%. So I have decreased this particular amount by 10%. I am getting $1.08, okay, per square feet. So coming to the next one, now I am decreasing the demand. Here these two, the increasing the demand are over. Now it is decreasing the demand. We have decreased it from 100, okay, to 80, because the decrease would be 20%. So it is being decreased to 80 and 80. So again, I am changing for the first one, price is increased, that is 1.32, and the next one, price is decreased, that is 1.08. So per particular what you call node, for a particular node, I am having 4 different options. Similarly, this is the period 1, 3 years we are talking, this is the present. Period 1 is period 0 is the first year, period 1 is the second year, period 2 is the third year. Okay, so each and every node will be having further 4 alternatives where I am increasing the demand and increasing and decreasing the price. I am decreasing the demand, increasing and decreasing the price again. So 4 alternatives for each particular node only. Okay, and these are overlapping. So I'll not get 16 alternatives here. I'm getting 9 alternatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these are overlapping. So we're getting the same values, okay, for different options here. So that's why instead of 16, I'm getting 9 different options for second period. Okay, so as and when again increasing, highest one will be D is equal to 144, that is the demand, and the price would go maximum up to $1.45 per square feet. Okay, and the lowest would be this one, not this one. Yeah, this is the one. Lowest would be demand is 64 only. See where 144 and where is 64. Okay, so this much of variation could be there. Okay, 64, and the price would be 0.97. This is the ideal condition for the price and not for the demand. Okay, this is the ideal condition for demand. That is, my demand is increasing like anything. Okay, this is the highest that I could get in period 2 as per my assumption of 20% increase. Okay, so this is one we saw. Then uh, we saw the calculations. This is like two calculations will be there, one for the period 2, then for period 1. Then we are basically bringing it, that is we are getting the present value of future cash flows for period 0. Okay, for with doing all these things, okay, I'll not go into deep because we have seen it in the previous class. So what is the amount that we are getting? We are getting $5,471. This is the net present value. This is the profit that I am getting. Okay, by having all those alternatives with the first option. Okay, first option is going with the spot price. So I'm getting net present value after taking out all the what you call costs only related to the rent. Okay, only related to the rent. I am having a profit of 5,471. Only I am removing the cost for the warehouse. Okay, cost for having the warehouse. So I am having a profit of 5,471. So this is the net present value. We are bringing all the costs and the future cash flows to the present period, that is P0. So by doing it, so you can see here 1 divided by 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus k. So k was 0.1. I told you, no, 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1. So it would be divided by, see here, 1 plus k. So this particular thing divided by 1 plus k will give me the present value. So we are bringing it to the present value, and at the end I am getting 5471 as the present profits for 3 years. Okay, so this is after removing the cost for having my the godown or the warehouse. So next, alternative 2. So what is alternative 2? The alternative where the lease for 10,000, sorry, 1 lakh square feet. So in this case, if you remove this 1,000, so it is 100 into 1,000. So in thousands, in square feet, will be having 1 lakh square feet of warehouse space is signed. So the lease for 3 years is signed. You know, for 3 years it is. So I'm entering a lease, okay, for 1 lakh square feet. Okay, for the present demand only. If anything more is required in future, so what I'll be doing, I'll be taking it at the spot price. So the evaluation procedure is very simple to the previous case. The outcome in terms of profit only changes. Okay, so how we calculated in the previous alternative, the similar way we need to calculate here, but the outcome is the profit will change. So it is increasing or decreasing or what is happening, we'll just see. So for example, at node D, okay, node D in the sense the top one, if you remember, 144 and 1.45 price. The manager will require 44,000 square feet more because it is 144, right? 1,44,000 square feet is requirement here. So, but what I am entering here, I am only entering for the lease of 1 lakh square feet. So I need more of 44,000 square feet, and that will be done at this price, that is 1.45. Okay, so this will be additional 44,000 into 1.45 if the demand increases 20% each consecutive year from period 0. Okay, so that is what is given of warehouse space from spot market at 1.45 per square foot, because only 1 lakh square foot has been leased at $1 per square foot. So this is the additional that I need to add or pay than what I am paying for 1 lakh units. Okay, the demand happens to be less than, if the demand happens to be less than 1 lakh units, Trust Logistics still has to pay for the entire 1 lakh square feet of leased space. I just showed you the lowest one, that is 64. Even if it is 64,000 requirement, 64,000 of square feet was required, but still I need to pay 1 lakh, the amount for 1 lakh square feet, because I've already entered into a lease for 3 years. Okay, so even if it goes more, I need to pay more, but if it goes less, I should pay the same amount as agreed for. So this is what is the happening, like this is what will happen if the demand is increasing or decreasing. If it stays well within just very near to 1 lakh, will be like a maximum utilization of this space will happen, or exactly at 1 lakh, the optimum utilization I could say. Okay, but if it is very less, I am going into losses. If it is going more, then I need to pay more than what was agreed for. Okay, then for period 2, the manager obtains the profit at each of the 9 nodes. So I told you 9 nodes were there. For the second period, 9 nodes are there, and all the parameters, that all the nodes are there. No? So it is being put over here. 144, 1.45. This is the topmost one. The next comes 144, 1.19. Here I am keeping the demand same and I am decreasing the price. Next, the demand will be same and the price will go down again. Okay, 0.97. Then the demand is decreasing now at 96 and 1.45, 96, 1.19, 96.97. Then it is further decreasing because it is the next round, that is period 0 decrease in period 1, then decrease in period 2 again. So if that happens, I am coming to the number of demand at 64. So 64, 64, 64. The price would be 1.45 again at that particular highest price. It is increasing and increasing. We are taking 10 and 10%. It has increased to 1.45. Then next one, 1.19. What is this? 1.19 is it has decreased once. Again, it is increasing. So that is 1.19. So the last one is price. It has decreased in period 1 and it has decreased further 10% in period 2. So these are the different notes that I am getting, or the different alternatives I can say, or different scenarios that could happen with the increase or decrease of 20% of demand and 10% of the prices for the land per square feet. Okay, at a particular rate, that is 20% and 10% per year. That is period 1 and period 2. So here if you see lease space, so we are keeping it constant at 1 lakh square feet only. But for this, if you see, 144 is there. So additional warehouse space that at spot price I am taking is 44,000 square feet. So for these three, it is 144. I am taking 44,000 extra at spot price. Okay, then rest where it is 96, 96, 96. It is well within 1 lakh. Okay, so I am not taking any additional like pays for the spot price. Similarly, 64, it is way less than the spot price. So not the spot price, the leased space basically way less. So I will not require any additional more space. So here it is 0. So now to calculate profit. So profit for P for demand is equal to, we need to change all these values, and for P price again we need to change all these values for period 2. Okay, this is period 2. So how we are calculating is equal to demand. So here it is 144, and so this is the like profit how we'll calculate, selling price minus cost price. Similarly, if I sell one product or if I transport one product, I am getting $1.22 cents, that is $1.22 per demand. So I'll be changing the demand minus the space. Okay, that is 1 lakh, 1 lakh square feet at $1, that is 1 lakh into 1 plus S is here, warehouse space at spot price is S into the current spot price. Okay, 44,000 into current spot price is 1.45 for the first one. So by calculating this, I am getting 11,880. Okay, so similarly, if I go down, if you see here, I told it is way down. So as it has become 64. Okay, so it has gone very down, so that I am incurring losses of $21,920 for all these three last alternatives. So if I go with this particular lease, so these are the different profits that I will be getting for different nodes. Okay, now this particular thing is the combination for of 4 nodes for the previous one node. Okay, that is, we have seen for one node we are getting four nodes, right? So similarly we need to bring it back again, like in the present cash flows for period 1. That is, we need to divide this particular thing by 1 plus k. So we'll see it next. So we'll do it while we are calculating for period 1. Okay, next the manager next evaluates the total expected profit for each node in period 1. So period 2 we have finished. Now we are coming to period 1. The expected profit EP, okay, expected profit, remember. So NPEV also will come. So I had explained that, that is present value, okay, PVEP, sorry, PVEP, present value of expected profits. So this is expected profit. For D is equal to, we need to substitute different values here, and for price different values at 1. Okay, this is the first period. At a node is expected profit of all four nodes in a period. In period 2, that means from one node of period 1 we are getting four nodes in period 2. So that is what we are saying is the expected profit, we need to get it back. That is the four different nodes, the present value of the future cash flow. So we need to get it back in the period 2. That may result from this node, and P of D is equal to P of P is equal to, that is the different values we need to substitute for first period. Is the total expected profit from both periods 1 and periods 2. So that calculation is given here. So how it is, for four values for period 1, four nodes were there. So what were the nodes? D is equal to 120, P is equal to 1.32. Next, D is equal to 120, P is equal to 1.08. Then D is equal to 80, P is equal to 1.32. And the last one, D is equal to 80 and P is equal to 1.08. So in the first one, they have given you all the calculations, how it was and all. Then for the alternatives, other alternatives, they have directly put the values. So what it is, 0.25 is the probability of happening. Okay. Then P of, that is the profit at D is equal to 144 and P is equal to 1.45 for period 2, plus the next node, that is P of D is equal to 144 at price 1.19 in second period, plus profit at D is equal to 96 for the price of 1.45 in period 2, and the last one would be P of D is equal to 96 for price of 1.92 in period 2. So that is equal to 0.25, that is the probability, into 1180 for this one, 11880 plus 23,320 plus 17,120 plus 17,120. Okay, so as this is multiplied, like 1/4 is being done, so you might wonder how this 17,000 came, because of this 0.25. So we are dividing whatever the value we are getting by 4 or multiplying it by 0.25. So it is being quartered. Whatever the value is there, it is being reduced to 1/4 of it. So we are getting 17,360. Okay. So similarly, for the next ones, we are getting 22,640, then 2,400 and 2,400. This is in negative 2,000. So we are in loss of $2,400 in the last two options. Plus there is some additional space that is required. Again 144 is there here, and again 144 is there. No, so this is the previous one, sorry. For the first one, see here, D is equal to 120. So this 2000, sorry, 20,000 square feet is additional that we require. Here also 20,000 additional, and here 88 is well within the 1 lakh square feet that we have leased. Okay, so additional how much we require? 20,000 square feet for this particular node. For this particular node, again it is 120 additional, 20,000 square feet for this, no additional things. And what is the spot price? Spot price is 1.32 here, and spot price is 1.08 here. So profit again. So if you see, what is the profit? So per node, okay, that we have calculated here, that into 1, okay, minus, so sorry, the profit minus, sorry, profit is equal to selling price minus the cost price. So selling price is D into, that is the total demand, into per transaction how much I am getting, 1.22, minus 1 lakh is the leased amount into 1, plus S into P. S is the warehouse space required, additional warehouse space required is S, into the spot price, plus EP is what? EP I have told you, expected profit. Okay, for first one divided by 1 plus k. We are bringing the future cash flows to the present cash flow at 1. So that is 1 plus k. So after doing this particular calculation, I am getting a profit of 35,782. Here 45,382. Here I am having a loss of 4,582 in both the last alternatives. So this is the calculations for the period 1 in the alternative 2. Okay. So next for period 0, for period 2 we have calculated, for period 1 we have calculated. Now we need to bring that particular cash flow to the present period. Present period is what? The expected profit EP at D is equal to 100, P is equal to 1.20. So this is the first node. Okay, this is the first node from which we have started at P is equal to 0. That is period 0. The demand was 1 lakh and the present spot price was 1.20. So this is at that particular point. Over the 4 nodes. So from this particular node, we were getting 4 nodes for period 1 is given by expected profit, okay, at D is equal to 100 and P is equal to, it is equal to 1.2 at 0 is equal to, again we had given 0.25 is the probability of happening for all the 4. So again 4 are there, 1 2 3 4. So these things like D is equal to 120, P is equal to 1.32, D is equal to 120, 1.08 P, then D is equal to 96 and P is equal to 1.32, then 96 and 1.08. So if we calculate this and multiply it with 0.25, that is the probability, 0.25 into, I am getting 35,782, 45,382 and minus, just now what we got here. So this one I am talking about. So this one I am doing the multiplication with 0.25, I am getting $18,000. So what is the present value of that? Okay, the present value of the expected profit in period 0 is given by PVEP. I told it, present value of expected profits at D is equal to 100 and P is equal to 0.20 for the period 0 is equal to expected profit at 1. Okay, because directly we have added the period 2 in period 1 only. So only I need to get the period 1 plus whatever we have added from period 2 to the period 0. So how we are doing it? We are multiplying it with 1 upon 1 plus k. So that is what? 1 upon 1 plus k, in the sense I can directly divide it by 1 plus k. In this case it is 1.1. K is 0.1, 1 plus 0.1 will be 1.1. So whatever I am getting, 18,000 is the value. 18,000 divided by 1.1 will give me $16,364. Okay, at period 0 it is 16,364. So the total expected profit is obtained as the sum of the profit in period 0 and the present value of expected profit over all 4 nodes in period 1. Okay, so this is the total expected uh, profits. So how to calculate? So total expected value is equal to 1 lakh into 1.22. So that is present, at present I am having 1 lakh as my demand and spot price is 1.22 minus 1 lakh into 1, because this is the next period, okay, period 1, plus present value of the expected profits at 0. So we are bringing it to 0. So we are getting $22,000 plus $16,000 that we have just calculated here. 16,000 plus 22. What is 22? This is this value, that is 1.22 into 1 lakh. So this is the value minus 1 lakh. So this particular thing till here into 1. This will give me 22,000, because 1 lakh will get cancelled. The additional 22. So that will become 22 into 1 lakh. 0.22 into 1 lakh will give me 22,000. That is 22,000 plus whatever value I got. That is this value 16,364. I am adding it here. So I am getting, for that particular second alternative, I am having a profit of $38,364. So in the earlier alternative, it was 5,000 something. I'll just go back. We'll see that how much was it. It was 5,471, okay, dollars for the first alternative, where I have taken spot price. So now coming to the next one, second alternative, after calculating what I got 38,000. Just imagine 5,600 and 38,000. So much of difference just with one alternative, just leasing. Okay. So after this, we'll go to the third one also. So just before that, the presence of uncertainty in demand and price reduces the value of the lease, but does not affect the value of spot price option. Okay, what we are saying is because of uncertainty, your demand may increase or decrease. Okay, but this increase or decrease will not affect the spot price. The spot price is increasing at the same rate or decreasing at the same rate, whatever is given to you. That is what they are telling you. The manager, however, still prefers to sign the 3-year lease for 1 lakh square feet because the option has a higher expected profit. So till now we have evaluated two options, that is option 1 and option 2, or alternative 1 and alternative 2. In the first one it was 5,600 additional some change, we can call 5,600 change dollars was the profit. In the second one it is 38,600 $38,600 of profit. So if it was only these two alternatives, I would have chosen, as a manager, I would have chosen the second alternative, that is going for lease with 1 lakh square feet. Okay, so that is what is being told here. So next, now considering the evaluation of flexibility with decision tools. So now there is a flexibility that will be there for me. So what is this flexibility now? So we'll look into that. So what is this? In general, the general manager at Trips Logistics has been offered a contract in which for an upfront payment. Okay, so I'm paying an upfront payment of $10,000. Okay, to have this flexibility or to consider the flexibility in the evaluation, what I need to do? I need to pay $10,000 upfront. Okay, whether I am getting profits or loss, I don't know, I don't care. Okay, and the person who is owning that particular place says, pay me $10,000 upfront. That means initially I need to be paying $10,000. Then if that is the case, then I can look into this particular flexibility. Now what is the flexibility here? So Trips Logistics will have the flexibility of using between 60,000 square feet and 1 lakh square feet of warehouse space at $1 per square foot per year. What is this particular thing now? Flexibility. So the flexibility here is I can use somewhere between 60,000 square feet and 100,000 square feet. That is 1 lakh square feet of warehouse space at $1 per square feet. So here we are not talking about 1 lakh square feet per dollar. That I am not paying 1 lakh here. So it depends. Like if I am using 60,000, I will pay only $60,000. Okay, because the price is $1 per square feet. So if I use 62,000 square feet, I will be paying only $62,000 only, and not more than that, a penny more than that. So if I am using 1 lakh, I will be paying $1 lakh per year. Okay, as with the price of $1 per square feet. So if I increase more than this particular 1 lakh square feet, if I require more than 1 lakh square feet, some space, so that particular space will be charged at the spot price. So we just discussed in the beginning of this class. So I told up to certain level, this particular additional can be used at the same price that we are agreeing with. Then if anything extra was required, then we are going to the present spot price. That means here for $1 up to between 60,000 to 1 lakh square feet, I can use any amount of space. Okay, if I am using any amount of space, that much of amount to be paid with $1 per square foot as the price for that particular land. And if I am exceeding that, then I need to have to be paid in spot price for that additional one. So we'll be looking at it in the next slide. Then we'll get to know like why I was stressing that additional. Okay. So if we see here at second one, see if you see here logistics must pay 60,000 per year for the first 60,000 square feet. So minimum of 60,000 he will pay. Okay, and anything more than 60,000 and can then use up to another 40,000 square feet on demand at at dollar one per square foot. That means I am getting $1 only for the whole 1 lakh square feet. But only thing is I have to pay only as much I use. And the minimum that I am paying is 60,000 square feet. That is $60,000 I am paying. And anything additional up to next 40,000, additional 40,000, I am paying only $1. So after that additional 40,000, that is if you add 60 and 40, it is 1 lakh. So anything more than 1 lakh I need space, I will be going for spot price. Okay. So again, 9 different options are there here. So 9 different alternatives. Okay. Or 9 different modes I can call that we have generated in the period 2. So what are those? 144, 1.45. These will not change. I told you, right? So whatever the demand is there, the price will not change. So similarly, so we are using the same thing. So if I go with spot price, these are the alternatives. What? 3 at 144 demand and price at 1.45, 1.19 and 0.97. So next, once the demand has increased, then it is decreasing. So I'm getting 96, 96 and 96, for which for the first price is 1.45, second is 1.19 and the third one is 0.97. And the last one, demand has decreased in period 1 and again it has decreased in period 2, then I'll be getting 64, 64 and 64. Okay, so this is the demand and the price will be 1.45, 1.19 and 0.97. Okay, so if you see how much are we basically having here, like at $1, see here, warehouse space at $1. So maximum I have 1 lakh, 1 lakh square feet of warehouse space at $1 because it is more than 1 lakh I'm getting here. So only 1 lakh at $1 I'll be getting. So for these three, because demand is 1,44,000 here. So this is 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, and the additional 44,000. 44 is there no additional. So that additional 44,000 square feet I am using it at spot price. So what is the spot price for first alternative? It is 1.45. Second alternative 0.19 and third alternative 0.97. So in this case, if you see, we are getting the maximum profits. Why? Because the spot price is less than the agreed upon price. That is $1. So it has become 0.97. I am gaining 3 cents. Okay, on per square feet. Per square feet price, I am gaining $3 for the additional one. But here it is increasing by 19 cents. Here it is increasing by 45 cents per square feet. So we are having 44,000 additional with the spot price of 1.45 in the first alternative, second one 1.19, and the third one 0.97. Okay, for the others, all other six, so it is less than 1 lakh. Okay, it is 96,000, 96,000, 96,000, 64,000, 64,000, and 64,000. So which is well within 1 lakh square feet. Okay, but the thing is, minimum I am paying 60,000 and additional here it is 64. So I need to pay 64,000 here and 96,000 here. Okay, and there is no additional space more than 1 lakh that I am using over here in this particular case. So again, profit. So what is profit? Selling minus cost. So what is selling I am getting per demand? If like if I supply for per unit of demand, I'll be getting $1.22 again. So that remains same for all the 3 years. Okay, minus W. What is W? Warehouse space at $1 into 1. This is 1 because at $1, W is the space. Plus S is the space, that is the additional space that I am required into the spot price. P. Okay, the P is here and the S is here. So it is after calculation I'm getting $11,880 as my profit. So next one I'm getting as the additional the spot price is decreased from 45 cents to 19 cents. So what will be happening? So my profit will increase, that is $23,320. So as it has gone down below my least amount, that is $1, so the maximum profit I will be getting here, that is 34,200. Then 96, so I need to pay 96 into 1, that is 96,000, and the profits, the selling price would be the same, the amount would be the same. So it is 21,120, 21,120. and here as it is going less than the price, that is 0.97, I'll be getting bit more profit, that is 22,200. And here it is the same everywhere. So it is again, it's the last one, sorry, not same. So these two I am taking only $1, right? So that particular profit remains the same, that is 14,080 and 14,080. And for the last one, as this price is going down, that is 0.97 is there, so it is being reduced to, I mean the profit is increasing to 14,200. So these are the values that I am getting for these particular alternatives with variable what you call lease, variable lease. I think it is variable lease or flexible lease, flexible lease. Okay, so these are the profits that I am getting. So now what we need to do, we need to go to the period 1. So this is for period 2. So if you see here, D is equal to P is equal to for 2. Period 2 I am getting all these things. Next I have to go to period 1. See here, D is equal to P is equal to 1. So in general, sorry, the general manager evaluates the expected profit EP, expected profit for 1 from period 2 and the total expected profit for each node in period 1. So if you, as you saw here, there were 9 nodes in period 2. In period 1, we are having only 4 nodes with demand 120 and price 1.32, demand 120 and price 1.08, demand 80 and price 1.32, then demand 80 and price 1.08. These are the 4 nodes that I am getting in period 1. So again 0.25 is the probability, and I need to add all the 4 nodes that are being generated from this particular one node. Okay, at 1. So I need to bring it back. So it is 11,880 this year, 11,880, 23,220, 23,320, then 21,120 and 21,120. So after doing this, multiplying it with 0.25, I'm getting 19,360. Okay, then here if you see warehouse, again if anything additional is required, because 120 is there and my lease is for only 1 lakh square feet. So here it is 1,20,000 square feet. So warehouse at $1 W, only 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Here the demand only is less. So as you know, only the space that I use, only I'll be paying for that. So it is 80,000 and 80,000. But here for the first two, I am crossing 1 lakh. So the additional quantity or the additional space that I require is 20,000 square feet at the spot price. So similarly, again the uh, profit remains the same, in the sense not the amount. The equation for profit remains the same. That is D into 1.22, that is the selling price, minus W into 1. That is W is warehouse space. Okay, at $1. That's why it is 1 into 1 plus yes, additional amount of space is 20,000 into spot price. So for this it is 1.32, and for the second one it is 1.08, plus this is whatever the value we are getting at the next period, that is period 2. Okay, so expected profit for D is equal to P is equal to at 1 divided by 1 plus K. This K is 0.1, so 1 plus 0.1 will be 1.1. So after doing these particular calculations, I am getting 37,600, 47,718, 33,600 and 33,873. So these are all the profits which are in positive. Okay, so positive, there is no negative. I am not going into loss in period 1 for whichever option I may have. Okay, whichever alternative I may have, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Okay, so next one, you all know, from period 2 we came to period 1. From period 1 we need to go to period 0. So the total expected profit in period 0 is the sum of the profit in period 0 and the present value of expected profit in excuse me, very sorry. The total expected profit in period 0 is what? Is the profit in period 0 plus the present value of expected profit in period 1. Why only period 1 and not period 2, you can ask. Again I will repeat that, because in period 1 we have already added. So this addition, so in the previous one if you see, that was not there. So it was only D into 1.22 minus this particular additional space that was required. Okay, and the amount that was like already having a deal or lease, that is that only was there. But here if you see in period 1 I'm having additional, that is expected profit. Okay, and I'm bringing this one. Okay, that is the from period 2 I'm bringing it to period 1. So what would be the present value at period 1, the cash flows of period 2. So that is being already added here in this particular place, that is plus EP. So I need not add again for period 2. So it is already calculated in period 1. Okay, that's why only period 1 is there here. So if you see, the total expected profit in period 0 is the sum of the profit in period 0 and the present value of expected profit in period 1. Okay, so how it is calculated? Expected profit for D is equal to 100, P is equal to sorry 1.2. So this is the first node which you have started. So is equal to 0.25. Again, the probability is 0.25 only. 4 alternatives with 0.25. If you add, it is 1 probability. So in this, I am having 4 again. That is P of D is equal to 120. P is equal to 1.32 for 1. Then D is equal to 120 and P is equal to 1.08 for 1. The profit of D is equal to 96 and P is equal to 1.32 for period 1. Then P is equal to demand of 96 with price at 1.08 at period 1. So after doing this and multiplying with 0.25, that is the probability, I'm getting 0.25 into all this. Just now we calculated it, 37,600, then 47,718, 33,600 and 33,873. So if we do this, we are getting the value of 38,198. Okay, so only this is period 1. Okay, so this is getting back at period 1. Okay, then if you see additional PVEP, the present value of expected profit. So this is only expected profit. So now I need to have the present value of that. So how to calculate? At D is equal to 0, P is equal to 1.2, that is the first node. At 1 is equal to EP of, that is the expected profit at D is equal to 100, P is equal to 1.2 at 0 divided by 1 plus K. Okay, K is 0.1, 1 plus K will give me 1.1. So that is 38,198 divided by 1.1 will give me 34,725. Okay, so next one, P of D at D is equal to 100 and P is equal to 1.2 is equal to 1 lakh into 1.22. I am just calculating the profit for P of 0. Okay, P of 0 in the sense at the initial stage, that is period 0. So what I need to do? So here I am having only one alternative, so there is no table or anything. So it is only one, that is 1 lakh into 1.22 minus 1 lakh into 1. This is the least price. So one particular square feet at $1 plus whatever I am getting here, that is 34,725. So that is PVEP at D is equal to 0, P is equal to 1.2 at 0. So it is 22,000 rupees. So here if you see 1 lakh into 1 and into 1, that is going off, and 0.22 is remaining. 0.22 into 1 lakh will give me 22,000. 22,000 plus whatever the value that I have calculated, 34,725. So which is equal to $56,725. So just imagine, see the change. So first alternative I was getting 5,600 and odd dollars. In the second one, 38,600 odd dollars, and the third one I am getting $56,725 as profit. See the difference, 5, 38 and 56. Okay, so there is one more catch here. With an upfront payment of 10,000, the net profit is 46,000. So this was 56,000, but I am paying 10,000 upfront, right? I am paying 10,000 extra to have that flexibility. So even that person doesn't know whether it will go up or down. So he's okay with the flexibility, but he needs 10,000 extra. So that is going down. That means the profit is getting less by $10,000. That is with an upfront payment of 10,000. The net profit is 46,725. Excuse me. So I'm taking out $10,000 from 56,725. So I will get $46,725 under flexible lease. So if you come here, we are just having the comparison between the different options. So what is the comparison? So you can just see, this is what I was talking to you about. What is the comparison? All warehouse space from spot market, I am getting $5,471 as the profit. For leasing of 10,000 square feet for 3 years, so not 10,000, 1 lakh square feet for 3 years, I am getting a profit of 38,364. So with the flexible lease to use between 60,000 and 1 lakh square feet, I am getting 46,725 dollars. So just see 5,000, 38,000, 46,000. What is the variation? So just with the option, the amount of land remains same, the alternatives are remaining same, the nodes, okay, we have taken the same nodes. In period 0 it was 1 node, in period 1 it was 4 nodes, in period 2 it was 9 nodes in all the three alternatives. Okay, so spot market, then 1 lakh square feet for 3 years of lease, then flexible lease to use between 60,000 to 1 lakh square feet at $1 per square feet. So the flexible contract is thus beneficial for trips logistics because it is $8,361 more valuable than the rigid contract. Then we are just having a differentiation between these two things. I mean comparison between the second one and the third one. First one, leave it out. So we don't want to deal with 5,000 only. So it is okay somewhere that is 38,000. Okay, if I had only these two, I would have taken the second one. So the third one is also entered where I am getting $8,361 more than the second one. Okay, so I would likely to move with the third one, that is flexible lease. Okay, to use between 60,000 and 1 lakh square feet. So this is what we wanted to tell you basically, like how the decision tree helps us in evaluating the different options. So here we have taken only 3 options. There might be more. Okay, with different things. Like we have directly taken the variations. Just imagine what will happen if the probabilities were different. The increase, the what do you call 20%, 20% we have increased the demand. So if the demand was like increased or decreased at a different rate, okay, then the price of increasing. So we have taken 10%. So increase or decrease. So here also there could be a change, right? And the probabilities could also change. So just imagine how like complicated this would happen. But if you do that, then only we are getting this particular options. Okay, so who knew that 5,000 would be for spot market? Okay, just imagine before going through this, you might have said, okay, देखा जाएगा when as and when we are going to the next year, we'll pay spot price. How much we require, we never know, right? So whether it is increasing or decreasing, so we need to evaluate. That's why the forecasting is very important, whether it is increasing or decreasing. So if you just take the previous data and if you extrapolate it, okay, then the forecast would be in only one direction. Okay, so we'll never be knowing, like something happens like corona. Okay, so we were not prepared for it, nobody was prepared for it, but decision tree told me even that, not to the exact extent, but at a particular probability and at a particular decreasing rate. So here it was 20%. So if you think at 20% decrease also, so this decision tree is giving me both the sides. So if it increases, what happens? If it decreases, what happens? So here only we had two parameters, that is the price and the demand. So for price and demand, we are getting 4 different alternatives in the next period. Then for each alternative, each of 4, I was getting 4 more. Again, it was basically overlapping. So I got 9 different nodes at the end. So just imagine. So I'll go back. I'll show you the decision tree. So for all the 3 values, the decision tree was the same. So the same decision tree we used, but for the first option, we took at these particular rates. Okay, that is the spot prices. Okay, these were the spot prices. In the second one, 1 lakh, the present, whatever the present demand was there, I locked on to it and I made a deal for 3 years of lease at this particular demand. If additional was required, I would have taken it at the spot price. Okay, here it is 20,000 extra we needed. Here it was 44,000 extra we needed for these two. And here it was well within. So there was one more at 144. 3 are there. 96 3 are there. 64 3 are there. The only loss that happens in second one is when it goes to 64, still we need to pay the price for 1 lakh only. So 1 lakh square foot. Here 96 was there. So 4,000 it would have not made much of difference. It will make, but it was comparatively okay. But 64 is very less compared to the 1 lakh. Okay, 64 in the sense 646. So I am paying 46,000 more here. Okay, 46,000 more. Here I am paying 4,000 more. Here I am paying 46,000 more. Okay, see the difference. So this 46 will come like reduce my profit to like by 46,000 less, right? So that's why the flexible alternative was more beneficial. So here we saved this $46,000. So that got additional. Okay, that was added. So here if you see we were in loss earlier. So that loss got compensated, and at the end, after compensating the loss and the gains and everything, we were left with $46,000. Okay, or I think 46,000 only. So to go to that, yeah, 46,725. Just check 5,438 and 46. So I hope you understood this. Okay, with one particular example was taken where two particular parameters were there, that is demand and the price fluctuating. Demand with 20% high and low with probability of 0.5 and 0.5. Price increase and decrease with the same percentage, that is 10%. Okay, so 10% increase and decreasing. So this resulted in 4 nodes in the next period. Then for each one node, it was generating 4 nodes and it was overlapping. So we got 9 nodes. This is just a recap of whatever we have done. So first one, we were generating a profit of 5,400. Second one, 38,364, and the last one, 46,725. So as a general person, now you came to know. So just alternative if you would have seen, so we would have not imagined that this much of variation would be there. Excuse me. So this much of variation would be seen basically in these three variations. Now just imagine 46. So even if you remove this, $41,000, 41,000. So how much of like profits I would have lost if I had taken first one? Okay, second one I would have lost 8,000. So compared to this 40,000 and 8,000, 8,000 like is okay. So it was only these two. But when the third was introduced, it was like the game changer where I was getting a profit of 46,000 directly. Okay, and when we compare one and first and the third one, the additional profit that I would be getting is $41,000. 41,000. It is way too high. Okay, so if I was offered these three things, I would have taken this one. So just imagine how a particular decision of one person, the general manager or the warehouse manager in this case, okay, because the main work only is the logistics. So logistics requires space. So one decision would have costed them $41,000 in profits. Okay, costed them means they would have had less number, like less of profit of 41,000. So just check. So that's why these particular evaluations or comparisons are very much important. So you could have thought, sir, why decision tree and why so much of calculations, so much of headache and all. So for to have this particular variation. So just thinking you could have done I would have taken the first one, I would have lost $41,000. If I would have got second one, I would have lost $8,000. Okay, by chance, if I had got the third one, yes, I would have got the maximum profit. But we would have never known that I would have such a huge difference in each option. Okay, so this was what the decision tree analysis basically, how analysis regarding the decision tree would end up and save us a lot of profits, or save us some wasting our profits. Basically, I could say wasting and not reducing, because we had chance with all the same alternatives. I could have got the maximum profits here. That is 41,000 additional than the first alternative. Okay, so that is why the decision tree alternative is very much important. That's why big companies, they even look out for $1, like 1 cent. So in Indian currency it will be 1 rupee. So you might have thought of like, okay, why these people are looking out for 1 rupee, 2 rupees, and 5 rupees. Okay, so when you increase it to 1 lakh, that in the sense 1 lakh products you were transporting, right? So if you would have saved 1 rupee, you would have saved 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so if you compare one product, okay, one unit of product to be shipped, okay, so if you are just saving 1 rupee, you would have saved 1 lakh rupees at the end of 1 lakh deliveries of units. So that is where this particular decision tree will help you know exactly how much you will be saving, or which alternative I need to go. There might be one more alternative. Okay, so this is one of the cases of warehousing. So it could be different. So it could be in terms of the capacity also. So if the capacity increases, decreases, what will happen? So at what capacity I need to make my plant here? So if I have to do only one plant, or I have to open multiple plants. Okay, so at times opening a bigger plant may end up in losses. Okay, we have to split at times. Okay, so these are the different options which we could evaluate using decision tree. And I don't want to burden more. So think over this, those who have understood well and good, or you can go back to the previous class, check on that. So there the first alternative was dealt in depth. Here I did not go in that depth, but to continue to have that particular continuity, I went back a little. From there I evaluated all the three options again, but the first option was not dealt in too much of depth. The second and third was dealt in depth in this particular class. If you want to look at the first comparison, not comparison, the first evaluation of the first option, that is the warehouse space for post like spot market, you can go to my previous class. Again, that is already being uploaded. Go through it. You will get to know like how we basically evaluated the spot market. Then in this particular class, we saw the second and the third alternative in depth. Then we compared all the three. So the evaluation or the comparison is there on your screen. You can just look at it. So I would like to stop here. I do this is next thing is the completely different one. So it is related, but we are not looking into the decision tree or anything. So that would be completely different. So I would like to stop here for today. Then we'll continue in the next class. Okay, with the continuation of fourth module. Hope so. I'll be completing fourth module in the next class, or maximum in the next coming class. Then we'll be starting with our fifth module. That is the last one. Okay, the last module for your syllabus. Then we'll see. I hope you have done well in your first IA. Okay, so the second